So Edmund, I've been seeing you tweet a lot about your hair. What's up with that?
Guy, is this new YouTube channel I discovered? It's called Harvest Chooks. She basically gives tips about how to maintain your hair, take care of your hair, how to make your hair grow faster, how to prevent your hair from breaking, basically hair treatment and all that. I love the channel. Yeah, so that's my secret.
Yeah, definitely. Go check out Harvest Strokes because Edmund Oris' hair looks better than Naira Marley's hair. You need to actually see it. Coming to you live from my apartment, I'm Odumu Tega. I'm your host for the Viewing Center podcast. I'm so excited to bring this new episode to you. I'm joined by Edmund Oris. I'm joined by Dr. Williams, and we have a special guest on the show who will get to introduce herself very soon. It's been a hectic week for everyone, so let's kick things off. Edmund Oris, how are you doing?
Well, Tega, I'm fine. I'm actually very excited for this episode. I'm excited to be talking with you guys again. Plus, I've got my very, very special friend, very old friend from secondary school, and my social prefect. So she's going to be on the program with us. So I'm actually very, very happy to be here.
Dr. Williams, how are you doing?
Well, Tega, I'm great. It's been a hectic week, man. Near-death experience twice, but we move. Thank God for life.
Yeah, I heard it was the corona.
Well, this coronavirus has refused to let me be. Quarantined twice, tested twice, negative twice. So Williams 2, Corona 0.
I'll be Williams 2, your village 000. They shall continue to be a guy.
And we have Wuese joining us for the first time on the Viewing Center podcast. Wuese, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Hi guys.
Let's kick things off with the coronavirus. It's been a serious topic for a while now, and it's still happening, even though the vibe or the energy is beginning to go down a bit. Have you been affected by the corona this week? Because last week, a friend of mine messaged me and she told me she just lost her job because of the coronavirus, and it just hit home to me. Like, people are really getting affected in terms of jobs. People are really losing.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this briefly last week, where we said a lot of people now are beginning to lose their jobs, especially those in private sector, those working for private companies and all that. Yeah. Some of them still cannot function. For example, teachers, a lot of teachers now working. I have like you. I have a friend that lost her job this past week. So the school need to function to be able to pay their staff. So with the whole break and everything, it's been very difficult to sustain. So it's been sad. This whole corona thing has just come and has completely turned the world upside down. Everything. People that are supposed to write WAEC this year, for example, they can't write WAEC. I'm sure people that are supposed to get into school this year, they can't get into school again. Does the fact that people are losing their jobs. So, and the worst part is, it's like we are not even close to getting a cure for the whole virus. So it's actually just bonkers, guy.
Williams, do you feel a sense of security, because you are obviously a doctor and you're working in the hospital, so your services are kind of needed at the moment. So do you appreciate that kind of job security that you have?
I don't, Tega. To be frank with you, being a doctor is good, but it's not the ultimate. For example, you're working in a condition whereby you don't have protective gears to be able to attend to patients. In that respect, or in that area, I'm kind of risking my life because I know the virus let's think about it. You are putting healthy people to treat sick people and wanting the healthy people not to get sick. At a certain point in time, the healthy people will get sick, and that's exactly what's happening. You see, more health workers are getting this coronavirus. I, for one, have survived it twice, luckily. But I can't say the same for the next person. So I'm not saying I'm lucky, because I have some of my colleagues that have died. Yeah. I have some of my colleagues that are also infected, that are still trying with their immune system now is trying to help them. There is no cure. So saying I'm lucky or I'm my job security helps me now. It's almost like a blessing and a curse, because I get to work every day. I do not rest, but at the same time, I'm thankful I have a job. Meanwhile, I could die on the job. It's really crazy. So I'm really in the limbo. I don't know. That's my thought process for this.
And Wuese, we are having you for the first time on the show. So how has Corona really affected you during this whole period?
For real, I should tell you, when this entire thing started, I was among the people bragging that just like Ebola, it will go like in a week or 2 weeks. I was just bragging about it. But it stayed for like 2 months, and I would say I didn't entirely feel it because I work from home. I'm always at home. In fact, thinking about it, I don't know. But it has seemed to die down now, though, because people are going out more and everybody's minds are on different things, like matters to settle and all of that.
Yeah. Oris, what do you think about the whole face mask? Have you been going out recently? Have you seen the whole face masks stuff?
Yeah, I've been sending it to me. Let me not even lie to you, Seth. I hardly go out. Yeah, I only go out when I go to the market to get stuff.
That's just me.
You get because subconsciously, yeah, I'm not taking it as seriously as I was when it started. Let me not even lie to you.
Exactly.
Now you get I just put myself in this position where I try to make sure that I don't go out unless I have the absolute need to do that.
To go out, yeah.
You get that's the situation.
And the first time I actually had that need to go out, I freaked out because everybody I had to go to a bank to have something, and everybody was wearing it felt like one of those movies where, at the point where everybody's just having for food.
Yeah, like Walking Dead or something.
Everybody seemed so scared, and I was the only one not wearing a mask, or one of the only people not wearing masks. And you that's not wearing masks, like, you're just scary to every other person. When you walk in, everybody's looking at you like, this person is not safe. It was a crazy experience. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was in a taxi this week because I resumed work, and the taxi driver was telling us that put on your face mask so police go stop you, and if you know where your face mask, they will carry you go Kuje prison. You need to go to mobile courts. After 8 hours, if they don't see with your face mask, next is Kuje prison.
The essence of face masks is for uncertainties.
Yeah,
that's why you wear face masks. Because I might have the virus, I might be asymptomatic, but you won't know. Yeah. So hence, prevent myself from giving it to you. But now that we are in a scenario whereby the virus is not written on anybody's head that I'm infected. So everybody needs to wear a mask because of the possibility of spreading the virus via droplets or whatever. Little is known about this virus. So hence, everybody has to wear the mask, both those that are infected and those that are not infected.
Exactly. Well, it's a situation that has been killing people recently. It's not only the coronavirus. It's now police brutality. We can see in Nigeria a 16-year-old girl got shot yesterday night, and she was killed almost on the spot because on rushing her to the hospital, she was declared dead. A guy was also shot in front of a police station in Nigeria this week. And in countries like the United States, a policeman actually killed a black man on the street. So police brutality is beginning to kill people, and it's getting out of hand. For me, it's almost as bad as the coronavirus, because if corona doesn't kill you, if someone wearing uniform might kill you. Oris, what's your take?
Tega is actually a very, very sad situation. When I saw the news about the girl, I think her name is Tina, sorry. When I saw the news on Twitter about the girl, and I saw the video of when they were rushing out to the hospital, my heart just broke, because that girl is 16. She has a whole life ahead of her, guy. She's somebody's daughter. She's somebody's sister. She's somebody's friend. She's someone's cousin. She's someone's classmate. She's innocent. She hasn't done anything, but just for the fact that she was standing at a junction, you get Tega. Do you know how sad that is? It could be you. It could be me. It could be one of our friends. It could be anybody. Crazy. So and the worst part is that this thing keeps on happening. When it happens, we trend hashtags, we complain, we talk online. There needs to be some sort of reform. There needs to be proper training for these policemen, because you can't just be discharging your weapon accidentally like that. You can't do that. It's wrong. So I don't know, guy. We'll cry and we'll cry and we'll cry. The government, nothing will be done. It's very, very sad. Maybe until one day it will be one of government's maybe relation. Maybe that's what it's going to take for them to come and change the system, because I'm tired, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's really, really crazy. When I saw that video, why would police be, you know what they call them, like, due to happy trigger, like, why would you be in the midst of a crowd or a place and just be shooting and firing just because you want to? I mean, that's just scary. That means we can't be safe around police anymore. You know, when you're in a gathering, like in a marketplace and stuff, and you see police, you feel safe. You're supposed to feel safe.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Or you don't even know if 1 minute they'll just start shooting. That's just crazy. Like when I saw that, and especially after Tina was shot, when she was falling, the pain, it was almost like I could feel it. You're just going about your life. Really, really sad thing. Very sad thing.
Yeah, I watched the 9 minutes video of George Floyd, who was killed by a white cop in the US this week, and watching the 9 minutes video of the cop suffocating George with his knee. I was trying to skip the video because the guy kept pleading, I can't breathe, and the cop was hell bent on doing massive damage on him. It's just crazy because someone who would like to say, I do not like Nigeria, I would like to go to the US and all those kind of stuff. But the racism blacks also face in that country is crazy. Williams, can you shed some light on that?
The truth is that racism is the biggest killer of mankind. Currently, we're dealing with two viruses: Corona and police brutality. The police have taken the white police. I have to call them the white police. Yeah. Even the blacks too. They've taken matters into their own hands. Personally, I think some of them, they need to be psychological evaluation before you get into the police force. And even when you are in the police force, you need to be going for a psychological evaluation, because I see no reason why somebody will be telling you, somebody that is unarmed is telling you he's suffocating, he can't breathe. You are still hell-bent of pressing his throat down and occluding his airway. There are incidents, and a police officer is shooting into the crowd. There are easier ways to pass a message than this.
They haven't reports where it was
than
saying
this brutality and whatever. Though I do not support the reaction from the masses, but you cannot blame them. They had to react. Maybe they reacted out of line, out of context, but they had to react. Yeah. So I think what we should do now as a nation or as a country or as an individual is teach the young ones at an early stage that it's at a certain point in life, the white man will always be against you.
No, yeah? Tega, I don't agree.
That's just bad. Don't make me laugh.
No, the truth of the matter is that I understand what William's trying to say, because this is 2020, guy, but racism is still happening. Like, it's happening. Like, I saw a movie recently, The Banker, and it's a movie about a black man, two black men, and how they're trying to acquire buildings, and it wasn't possible. In fact, as a black person, you could not enter a bank. You get, but it's better now, but it's still happening. You get, so I feel like racism is always going to. The issue is whites understand that they are not special. They are humans like us. Do you get? So why would you see somebody and just discriminate? It's like the dumbest thing you can do, to just discriminate somebody or feel you are bigger, you are superior because you are white. Does it even make sense? So I don't know. Something needs to be done.
But Edmund, racism does not only occur in America. For example, a Hausa man will leave the north and come to a place like Enugu and come and stay. You will see that the Igbo natives there will begin to hate on the man that has come to try and better Enugu. Hence, they will try and look for a way or whatever. No, I'm just telling you that that's tribalism. It's also happening. The way you relate to racism, tribalism, socialism is the same way. The same way. Like I put on my WhatsApp status. I don't know that you saw it. A rich man can tell me I'm stupid. I will say, okay, it's okay. Maybe I'm really stupid. But a poor man comes and tells me I'm very stupid, I will be livid, I will be angry, I will be, why? What audacity? It's the same way you look at racism, socialism, tribalism. Once they feel you are a lesser person, there is this way they look at you like, this one won't come collect my land. This one has the right to talk back at me. Who are you? What is that? So I think that is the same angle this racism is going. These whites will continue to hate on the blacks. It's sad that in 2020 we are still talking about racism. We are still talking about xenophobia. We're still talking. These are trivial issues that our great grandfathers have moved past from. That is coming back or is still in play again. So I think we as humans, we need to do better, because this is not the government will not help us. The government will not help us fight racism.
Listen to it, because in a way, like Williams has said, it's not just happening abroad. It's happening in our country. It's happening in Nigeria. It's happening in Africa. So everybody that's listening to it, we need to do better. Treat people with respect. Everybody has feelings. They are human beings. You are not better. You are not special. You get.
Yeah. It's a good thing we have platforms like this, actually, because the truth about racism is it has always been here. here. It's just that it's being televised more and being talked about more. That's why this is so important. Like, if there's any time that racism could actually be curbed or any vice now, because there's media, there's everything. We can constantly communicate. Before, it was so dark that they would lynch a black man in one town, remote town, and people won't even know about it. And it will be happening over and over again. But now at least with platforms like this, we get to know about it.
Yeah, one thing I really find crazy is that these racist incidents are being, is it televised now, or being photographed, or being captured? We saw a black man that was running on the streets last 2 weeks and got killed by two white men, a father and his son. And we saw the one of George Floyd this week. And it's just crazy that these events are being captured, because when you try to, imagine if these events are not being captured, the ones that are happening behind the back door, behind the closed door.
Yeah, on guy abroad, the white man, I heard he has been charged with third degree murder and he has been arrested, which I feel it's not bad, but he has to pay this. There has to be like a repercussion for your mistake. No, it's not a mistake. It was a deliberate act. There has to be. Yeah. My own now is internally in Nigeria, that man that killed that young, innocent, 16 sweet girl that has a whole future ahead of her, they need to bring him out and punish him. Because you know Nigeria, they can just do, and before they've swept it under the rug, and it will happen again. So I don't know. The fact that then we've not even talked about the whole SAS harassment and how they harass young boys on the street on the road because maybe you are dressed properly or you have one kind of hairstyle. So it's just very, very, the whole police system, it needs to be overhauled. It needs to be, like Williams have said, psychiatric evaluation. They need to be, it's like teaching. Anybody can just up and go and teach now because there are no jobs. That's how I see the way people enter police. People go to become policemen, not because they have love for citizens, not because they want to protect people, but because there's no job after Mabi or Lokpa. You get, so it needs to change, to be honest, because if it doesn't, people will keep losing their life. You get, so it's just a very, very sad situation.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, moving on from that, we actually run a podcast, and it's good that this kind of events and this kind of situations are actually being talked about. They're talked about on TVs, on shows, on podcasts like this. Oris, what's your best platform when you want to listen to podcasts, when you want to listen to maybe a football podcast or a sport podcast, or a podcast like this? What's your best platform? What app do you use?
Okay, I actually listen to a couple of podcasts. They're nice ones. I use the podcast on iOS. It's a podcast app. There's also Anchor. Anchor is for it can be both Android users and iOS users and all other types. Anchor is also very good, and they are free. You get, all you have to do is just download and what's the name? Download and search for. There are numerous podcasts you can listen to about different types of issues: relationship, love, sports. Like this, our own too. There's also Google Podcasts. So I think those are nice ones.
From my end, because I mostly use my laptop all the time, I use listennotes.com and I use podchaser.com. These two platforms, you don't need to like download any single thing. You just go to your website and the website and type listennotes.com or podchaser.com. And if you're searching for the Viewing Center, for example, you want to listen to older episodes of the Viewing Center podcast, you can just go to listennotes.com or podchaser.com and type the Viewing Center, and our podcast will come out, and you can listen to past episodes, last year's episodes, 6 months ago episodes. Any episode of the podcast you want to listen to, can be found on Listen Notes. And you can, if you're using an Android phone, you can use Pocket Casts or you can use Google Podcasts. Those are the platforms. You can use Anchor also to listen to various forms of podcasts. Moving away from that, this week in Nigeria has almost been about, before the police brutality, has almost been about Cynthia Morgan and the issues she has been facing while she has been in the wilderness of music. Williams, what's your take on Cynthia Morgan's problems recently?
Personally, I had keen interest initially to the issue. I felt bad for her. But then again, after listening to Jude's explanation, I drew up some conclusions in my head that, firstly, there are some stories that both parties don't want to talk about. Yeah. Because what she's saying and what the contracts are saying are entirely two different things.
Yeah.
The contract, she said they took her name, they took her this, they took her that.
How can they take your name?
The contract didn't say that. So I think there are more to it than what they have said or whatever. Because
first of all, I'm actually in the music industry. Yeah, I manage the opioid community, so it's possible for you to have an agreement with a label and they own your name.
That's possible.
It is. Yeah, you remember when Kizz Daniel left his label? He had to change his name.
Yeah.
Who among you? Yeah, you guys know that. That was because his name was their property as well. You know, when they're bringing you up in like record label and all of that, it's more like they wear you your personality. Like this name will suit you. Wear this, do this, based off of the music that you make, so you can fit into that personality, and so people can accept you. So it's actually possible, and I think that was why she had to change her name briefly to Madrina during the whole saga when it happened, when it started happening years ago.
For me, I think Cynthia's problem is not really about the contract. Yes, the contract is a huge part of our problem, but I feel our problem also is the way she was treated. She feels when she wanted to leave, she wasn't given the right platform to leave. She wasn't given the
But you signed the contract. You can't just up and leave now. That's why you sign contracts.
That's the thing. Things start to happen, and then people start to fight, and things start to become unbearable and stuff.
It's almost because sometimes people say stuff like they don't read the contract. It's like they don't read, because if you sign as an adult, if you sign a contract that okay, I'm supposed to. I agree. There should be terms that states okay the way you can live and how you can live and compensation and all that. But there's a proper way to do it. You can't just sign a contract that you're going to stay for so months, and then halfway through it you're tired, you want to go and open your own, you want to form your own, you want to be free, you've gotten the fame and everything, and then you just want to up and leave. You don't do things like that.
I think it's everywhere. That's what I was saying, in any relationship or group or whatever, there's bound to be issues. Sometimes the issues just come and then it's just unbearable and one person just has to leave and then they start having problems. Like Cynthia Morgan left years ago, right? Why is it that it's now we're now talking about the issue? She left years ago. The problems that have, the thing now is that her label was just stronger than her. That's just the thing. At least Kizz Daniel was able to come back. Even the songs he dropped after he left still popped kind of. But Cynthia immediately left. It was almost like the label just ruined her.
It's like she was out of, because a lot of people were asking, where is Cynthia Morgan?
There's actually two sides to the coin here. Some people are saying she's the one that misbehaved. She started showing herself, becoming too
they said she was
the label and all of that.
Yeah.
And there are other people who have it that it was the label's fault. But I think now, with what's trending now, the story is just telling us that it was just her. It was her fault and not their fault.
Yeah, it was her fault.
So she's out now apologizing and all.
Right.
Well, she did GoFundMe. She opened GoFundMe and people were trying to send her money, guys.
And the funny thing about Cynthia Morgan now is that Sterling Bank has reached out to her. Davido has also reached out to her. For me, I think it's a win-win situation for her because there's no gain in having a publicity at all. So even if she's being dragged for line or being dragged for one thing or the other, I feel she has won because now she gets to relaunch her career back. Williams, what do you think?
Well, for Cynthia Morgan's case, it's actually good that celebrities like that of the Davidos and also Kidominat, the producer, and also commercial companies like the banks are reaching out. Personally, what I want for her is that she should take her music seriously and she should invest this time. She has been given a second chance at life or at success. Some people do not get that at all. Some people do not even get a chance. So I think she should use this found rekindling of her career seriously, and she should do a lot of investments, a lot of partnership, and try and diversify all her resources because music might not be the only thing that may sustain her for this second coming. So that's my take on it.
Akin Alabi said Cynthia Morgan shouldn't do music anymore. She should go into maybe starting her own podcast or writing a book or going to speak in schools or something different from music. Do you think she should actually reconsider doing music?
Someone really said that.
Yeah.
Well, the truth is, when she came out here, I wasn't even listening. I don't know. But there were girls who really vibed with her sound.
Yeah.
I just feel the entire issue she was having really, really messed up her personality. I don't know. Because when she came to, I knew people who really, really liked her vibe. I wouldn't say I was one. But I think the whole thing with her is just the branding and you cannot go into a label and the first year you're already having problems. It's going to affect your music. So I feel she could be good if her management is right, or if like she just lets herself be packaged right, really. So no, I don't know if I favor that sarcastic comment that she should probably go and do hair or start before.
You earlier said you work in the music industry. Have you been in this kind of unique situation where you've seen an artist fall from grace in his or record label and try to relaunch a career? Have you seen anybody be successful in that part?
Yeah, there are many people that I have experienced. But the truth is, it's always a struggle, especially if you don't have money to bring yourself back up. Because the problem you have, first of all, to not be able to bring yourself back up is money. So if you're going to pull that stunt to have problems with your record label, you should better have money to, fly. Like when Davido left, where he was at and started DMW real fast. Like nobody even knew anything was because he had the money to push himself.
Anyway, speaking about money, if you'd like to sponsor the Viewing Center podcast, you'd like to put your products on the show, or you would like to put your company on the map to the amount of listeners we have, you can reach out to us on Twitter at View Center Pod, or reach out to Edmund Oris. I think Edmund Oris is very skilled in this aspect.
I'm not skilled. Okay. But really, if you want to like advertise your product or you want to sponsor our show, you can reach out to any of us. So because we're actually booming and we're doing very good, so we could, talk something out.
I manage a group of artists, and I'm also, my movement and label is called the Opioid Community. Yeah, so we have Vervain Sound Records. But what we do is we're basically here for people who have been going through addiction, like who've been through rehab and back, who've like been through the lowest, because most of our team members or people in our team have been through these things. Like they've been through what's almost killed themselves and stuff, but they're back now and they're being creative and doing, stuff that they wanted to do. So they want to help people. We want to help people who are going through things that they have gone through, that I have gone through. Do you understand? So, but again, I feel like most people, when we say this, they just feel like, oh, okay, these people are just here for people who've done drugs or who are addicted to alcohol or something, or are addicted to, stuff that gets you high and fucked
Weed.
up.
Hit books.
Yeah.
But the truth is, generally, there are other forms of addiction. Like people are addicted to certain things that they don't even know they're addicted to. And it will be in years, like 5-10 years, when they go to the doctor for like checkup and they'll say, oh, you have diabetics or you have this. And you'll be like, oh, what caused it? And the doctor will say, it's the sugar you've been taking all these years. And all these years, because it's not drugs, you feel like you're not doing anything bad. Like there are things that as little as water, sleeping too much, that you
overeating,
and you do not know that you're not focusing on your dreams and your goals because of these things. We put it mildly and we call it like habits, like bad habits. We just call it that to make it look nice, when in fact it's actually like an addiction and something you should look into to if you want to move forward.
Yeah, I did read a post today talking. A guy was saying something about he has been off drugs for 6 weeks now, and he was so happy about it. But he was trying to like do some laundry, and he saw just like a stash of something he hadn't thrown away, and he just relapsed immediately. And people always say that when you're struggling with addiction, relapsing is part of one of the things that lets you know that, okay, at least you are trying to fight that problem.
Almost like dealing with the bad habits.
Yes.
It always come.
Yeah. So do you feel like relapsing helps you when you're trying to fight an addiction?
Well, the truth is, with dealing with addiction, they always advise to replace that thing with something else, something less, until you are able to do without it in total. So, for example, if you are dealing with I don't want to call drugs now. I don't want to go into drugs. But for example, you're dealing with soft drinks. Like you always drink, like instead of water, we all know how good water is for us, our skin, our minds, everything. Yeah. So instead of drinking water, you're always soft drinks. To cure that addiction, you have to replace it with something else. That, for example, we could recommend lime water is something that, tastes almost like a drink. So when you drink it, it makes you feel like you're drinking soft drinks. So stuff like that helps like to curb relapsing. Some people just feel that to deal with an addiction, you just need to stop completely.
Yeah.
If you stop completely, you definitely always relapse, and that does not help. So the best way is to replace it with something milder until it's an entire process. It's an entire stretch. Like it's something you have to become mentally, physically. Is really, really crazy.
I have some complaints, some queries, and some questions I would like to ask.
Yeah.
So let's assume now that I know a friend that is dealing with a masturbation as an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to suggest substitution as an alternative for such person?
Wait. What will be the substitution for masturbation, please?
I don't know. Actual sex. I don't know.
Mental sex. How about mental sex? People. Do I go deep? There are people who could just think of themselves, doing stuff, and they would actually come. You could replace it with that.
No, there are professional listeners that want to know about this. There are people that go through this because I do like a WhatsApp clinic and I get a lot of different things. So I want to know, what do you recommend for someone that has a porn addiction? For
porn addiction, you just have to mentally
or a masturbation problem. Any of them, he masturbates a lot. What's your solution? What's your recommendation?
Like I said, it's a stretch with any kind of addiction. So it's for you to, first of all, consciously, the truth is, to replace something with something, you have to do something close, and you might get addicted to that thing as well. So
exactly, that's my issue. That's my issue. Even
if I give a replacement or like a substitution or something, you could still get addicted to what you're supposed to use as a getaway. So the ultimate is to mentally always remind yourself that this is what you're trying to do. This is what you're trying to do. So even when you replace it with something, but if to answer that question directly, for real, I wasn't joking when I say mental sex. I wasn't joking. I laughed, but I wasn't joking actually. If you really feel like the actual masturbation, you're getting addicted to it, although let's not go there. If you feel like you're addicted and it's a problem, then you could try stop being physical for a while. Mentally, people don't really like, stressing their brain. So by the time you've stressed your brain to be mentally sexually active 2-3 times, you would want to just quit and just remove themselves.
Okay, what of therapy? I feel like for somebody like that because that's what therapy is for now. Are there therapists in Nigeria?
We actually have about 2 therapists on board in Nigeria for the Opioid Community and 1 in the United States. Let me say this so people would know this. We have hotlines here. People actually call in and text us and talk to us and ask us about stuff. So if you're listening to this right now and you need that kind of help, because I can't really say everything here. It's always broad and always specific to like an individual. So in case you need someone to talk to, if you're going through any of these, you can call our hotlines or 0811-954-3829, or you can reach out to us at the Opioid Community on Instagram, Opioid Community on Twitter. Really, like we're always there to listen and speak back to you.
All right. Thank you.
Wuese, at what point do you draw the fine line between an addiction to something?
I'm sorry, at what point do you draw the what?
At what point do you draw the fine line for you to say I'm addicted to something?
At that point where you start realizing that it's stopping you from the plans you have for yourself. Like you wake up and you plan to do this, to do that, and then you realize that because of this pleasure or this thing that you're always doing, you couldn't do this thing that would actually help you ultimately. That's the point you realize that what you're doing is bad for you.
So at a certain point in life, everyone is addicted to something.
Exactly.
At a certain age, everyone is addicted to something. In conclusion, we are all addicted to something in life.
Exactly, which brings us to our next topic. Williams, what will you say you're addicted to? Very quickly, 2 things.
Success. I want to succeed as an ultimate prize. Okay. I don't know. I think that's the only one for now.
Tega, what are you addicted to? 2 things, sharply.
Well, if I want to be on the safe side, I would definitely follow Williams' route, and I'll say success. But basically, I'm addicted to trying to be successful. But I think I have not really struggled with addiction to anything, but I know my own personal stuff is that I have a way to limit myself.
Anyway, me, I have an addiction that I think a lot of people in our generation have. I think both of you have it, but maybe you are not going to admit it. I have a phone addiction. I am addicted to my phone. I don't know, I just like pressing my phone. I can press my phone. And it's always an issue when I'm at home with my dad.
Yeah.
He's always fighting me on it. I can decide to be on Twitter, or I'm playing chess online, or I don't really chat like that, Shabo. Phone addiction, I feel like, is a problem for me. And there are sometimes, I can say I want to go to the market by 10 today, 10 o'clock. And then next thing I know is 10:05. And I'm like, okay, let me just wait till 10:30. And the next thing I know is 10:30. And I'm like, let me just chill small. Let me just chill till 11 o'clock. And the next thing you know, I'm like, do I actually have to go today? Let me just go tomorrow. So I feel like that's something. But like Williams has said, everybody, if you check deep, you see that there's something that is always like limiting you from, like Wuese said, limiting you from achieving what you want to achieve. That's when it becomes an addiction. Apart from that, it's an habit, you guess. So yeah.
To be honest, one, and the greatest one that I'm really, really trying to battle should be sleep. Sleep, one.
Okay.
And procrastination, I'm always feeling like I'm not good enough to do a particular thing at a particular point. So I'm like always leaving it for like the next time.
Is procrastination, is that an addiction?
Of course, it's something
procrastination.
Nah.
So somebody can be addicted to procrastination.
It's actually a habit. It's a habit. Like letting things off, like feeling like you're not supposed to be, like you can't do this thing right now. Let me just leave it off to like tomorrow. I'll be in a better position to do it. I'll be in a better mood.
I think I have that addiction.
Okay, so I saw a post on Twitter when someone asked, is it okay for people in relationships to collect gifts from people of the opposite sex? And this guy actually replied that it actually depends, that you can't buy a gift from a girlfriend that I cannot afford. She has to reject it. So he's basically saying, yes, can get the gift for my partner, but do not get something that I cannot afford because she has to reject it. So I don't know what you guys think about this situation.
Man, I'm like the worst to ask relationship. Anyway,
why are you still single?
Wait.
You're no longer single.
I'm single forever. But your question is if a friend of my girlfriend gets her something that I cannot afford.
Yeah.
Will I be... it's tricky. I feel like it's tricky. For me, I feel like it depends on the time frame of their relationship. That is her relationship with the said gift giver. Let me use that word.
Yeah.
If they are friends, like for example, me and Wuese now, we've been friends since secondary school till now. I don't think me getting Wuese any gift is going to cause an issue in our relationship. Or if she decides to want to get me something. But when you meet a boy or you guys have been friends...
need like the iPhone 12 right now, Edmund.
Is iPhone 12 out? I think, are you trying to like...
I'm just trying to tell him now that that's established.
I actually want the PS5. You can get me the PS5. It's coming out in September.
Yeah, we're friends. Gifts.
So I feel like it depends on the time. If the relationship with my girlfriend and the said buyer is like very short, then I'm going to doubt his intentions, and I feel like it's going to be an issue. I'll be jealous, obviously. Somehow it's just, I don't know.
Have you been put into that kind of tricky situation before?
Yes, actually, but I wouldn't call it tricky. It depends on your relationship, really. Communication is everything. Like, there's a way you know the way when you're in a friendship or whatever, rapport is everything. It just depends on the relationship you are in and the way you know, the rapport you have with your partner. In some relationships, the girl or the guy cannot just try it. That's just, their level of understanding, you understand? And in certain other relationships, it's a free world, it's all fun. Sure, he can send it over. Do you understand? So but what I was saying is, personally, I do not think it's a big deal. Yeah. There's no big deal there. But some people might get like that.
Yeah. So, Oris, you've been indirectly told that by September 2020, when iPhone 12 will be out, you should be getting one for you've been told on the podcast, so
I don't even need to repeat it.
Williams, what do you think?
Well, the gift thing is a very controversial issue, considering the fact that you need to know your stand and your partner in question here.
Yeah.
If you have a partner who doesn't mind, I think you can accept it. But if you have a partner who is his trust is queried, or his loyalty is queried, or you know the kind of person you're with. Because, for example, if I was the girl, and I know there is this guy from her conversation that is hitting on her. Yeah. And for example, let's say I buy her a bicycle as a birthday gift, then he comes and buy a car. I'll feel bad because that bicycle must have been my all I had at that point to buy for her.
Yeah.
But she won't see it in that light because it's not a car. Then again, another thing again, men are threatened species. They like to be in charge. So when another man comes into your home or is about to come into your home and threatens your position as a man in the family or in the relationship, you begin to feel bad. Hence, why the men feel bad. For the women, if another lady comes and start buying gifts for your man, you begin to doubt yourself in the relationship. You begin to ask yourself questions like, what am I bringing into this relationship? Is it right? Is it cheating? Is it this? So I think the gift issue is a very controversial issue. You need to understand your partner and know your partner in total for you to decide if you will accept the gift. But I, for one, might not mind. But if it's coming from somebody I know that is also consciously trying to hit on you, despite the fact the person knows you are with me, I would feel very bad about it. So that's my take on it.
I also think it's a matter about insecurity, I guess, because if I'm not feeling secured by my relationship with a lady, for example, and someone else is constantly hitting on her, or even if I trust her to an extent, but I'm still insecure with myself, I'm always going to have issues with those kind of gestures happening because obviously I can't afford it and the other guy can afford it. So it's a very tricky line to actually walk. And now a quick word to hear from our friends at YouTube.
Hi everyone, my name is Harvest Truth. I have this amazing YouTube channel and I need all the support I can get. My channel is on hair and lifestyle. It's a channel that shows you how to care and love your hair more, regardless of your gender, and also where other interests and events are being discussed. Please subscribe to my channel, which is Harvest Truth, HARVESTCHUKS. Like and share. It will mean a lot to me. Thank you.
And we are back. So joining us for the last part of the show is a good friend of mine, and this person of being on the Being Center podcast. He's known by Joseph, or you can call him Dr. Areh. Joseph, how are you doing?
Oh, you call him Kama.
Oh, you call him Kama, yes, also known as Kama.
Okay. I'm fine.
A listener sent us a feedback question. I would like to get your take on, since you're a doctor and you have a lady on the podcast. So she basically went to a hospital to check her tooth and she got asked some uncomfortable questions by the doctor. You know, when the patient comes to see you, normally you're supposed to just ask maybe the routine checkup and find out maybe there's an underlying illness and all. The doctor basically flirted with her, and she thought it was just a normal thing. And she got home, and the doctor basically has gotten her number. Or she didn't give her number to the doctor, but somehow the doctor had gotten her phone number and started chatting her up and that kind of stuff. So basically, she's thinking about reporting the doctor to like the ethics board. What's your take on that? Because I think it kind of breaches a doctor-patient confidentiality. I don't know how you guys do it, so that's why I said let me invite you. You're an expert in this field. You are basically our ethics expert. So let's know what you think.
I really don't know much about ethics, but basically, it's absolutely wrong for you to collect your patient's phone number from maybe the case file and start texting the patient about personal stuff. It does not really breach the doctor-patient confidentiality as far as it's within the line that you are following up on the case, you are following up on your patient. But once it gets to that personal level, it's absolutely wrong. I really don't advise it. And for me, she should report and destroy his career immediately.
But working in the hospital now, have you heard about that kind of situation before? Have you come across something like that?
Do you mean if I've done something like that or what?
No, have you come across? Now, I know your moral conduct is standard, so forget about. I don't doubt you, but have you come across such situation?
Yes. I've come across it twice or 3 times now, but nothing really happened to the people that were involved, because at the end of the day, the patient really did not want to take it that far. But for me, I still stand on my ground that she should report to the ethics committee, and at least it should be sanctioned or something. It does not really make sense. They are spoiling the career, destroying the career. So she should report to whoever she wants to report to, the ethics committee.
I don't really know much about ethics, but let me tell you guys something. What I feel. I feel like she's complaining because she doesn't like the doctor, or maybe the doctor is not fine. Because if the doctor was cute, she will not be having issues about patient contact. There are girls that go to the hospital and they hit on doctors. Joseph.
See, forget cute or not, it's totally wrong. Whether it's cute or not, the doctor should not have taken a number to message her. So forget whether it's cute or not.
But if he was cute, would she report, or would she be contemplating reporting?
I don't know. different people think different ways. So
but let's ask the lady. So
have you been hit on by maybe a doctor, or you've gone to an hospital, or you've been in a situation where someone gets your number from only God knows where and continuously hits on you?
Harasses you.
Oh, harasses you, exactly. That's the right word.
Well, yeah, I have never been in a situation like that, but I'm aware that it happened.
So what do you think now from the lady's perspective? Do you feel she should report this doctor to the ethics committee, or it's something that she can just let go?
Depends. If you feel like you have a someone in that committee to report to that would listen, then go ahead and do that. Sometimes it's just a waste of time if you do that and you actually do not know someone personally, especially for with cases like this for girls and stuff like that. The truth is, most people, when the story comes out, people usually tend to look like they are concerned and all of that, but when the issue is actually being talked about, it's usually waved off. So in a situation like that, unless you're directly connected, somebody that would actually you could actually speak to, and something would actually be done, my dear, just probably deal with your trauma, because at the end of the day, it just be like a waste of time.
So wait, are you saying you don't trust the Nigerian system or what?
Especially
you should have trust in the Nigerian system.
No, especially in a country like
I'm speaking generally, but Nigeria, you guys know now. Where do you stay? Could you just ask me that question? Where do you live? That was wild for me to ask that. So it's really, really crazy, though.
Well, right. Don't give away.
All right, Joseph, thanks for joining us. Even if it was a short period, it was fun having you on the show.
It's been a long time. When did I go invite me now?
I think maybe
don't worry. The thing is, we don't want to have so much testosterone on the podcast, because there's Williams, there's Edmund, and there's just
really?
now.
Okay, but Williams that's estrogen to counter the testosterone.
Okay, but very soon. I think football is coming back now. So when football comes, you'll come.
Hey, I don't really speak about football like that. So
don't worry. We'll make room for you, Joseph.
Guys, don't give away from me. Don't invite me to.
It was nice meeting you.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you, thank you so much. I had a good time, although I was really distracted, but it was nice hanging out with you guys.
Oris, thanks for joining me on the show once again. It's always fun having you around.
Well, thank you, Tega. I've enjoyed myself today. It's always nice catching up with you guys and talking with you podcast.
And for everyone listening, whoever is going through some shit right now, addiction or depression, always you can reach out. We're always here. to listen and speak back to you. Like I said before, just in case to hear again. Yeah.
To the opioid community on Twitter and Instagram, they will definitely...
On Instagram and Twitter at Opioid Community.
Tega, my final word is not really on addiction or anything, but I just want to I feel like I should encourage people that today could be the worst day of your life, and then tomorrow could literally be the best. Tomorrow could literally be the day that everything changes. You get to whatever it is that you're doing, just keep doing it, keep putting your head up high, and just keep striving, keep hustling. One day everything will change.
Definitely. And on that fantastic note by my co-host Edmund Oris, thank you guys very much for joining us. Please rate, review, and subscribe to the Viewing Center podcast. And the easiest way to do that is by going on the Apple Podcast to drop your review, to drop your ratings. It does help us a lot. And you can listen to the podcast anywhere on AudioMac, on Google Podcasts, on Spotify, Pocket Cast, TuneIn, Podchaser, Listen Notes. Basically, anywhere you get podcasts, you can listen to the Viewing Center podcast. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at View Center Pod and on Instagram at the Viewing Center. Thank you guys for listening once again, and see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.